Hey, what's up guys? John here, one of the largest real estate investors in the world. Steven Schwarzman, Blackstone. They're saying that we're now walking into an upcycle inside of real estate. You have Floyd Mayweather. He just invested $402 million to acquire 1,000 units inside of New York City. Now, what I'm seeing everywhere all throughout the country is these signs. 10-to-1 ratio. I just drove from Florida all the way to Ohio, and basically every pocket of the country, that's all I'm seeing. Now, what I think we could be seeing, whether this is the outcome or, it goes the other way, is we could see a lot of money printing in the very, very, very near future. And we could see a lot of investors, a lot of large institutional players, a lot of really wealthy individuals looking to invest and store their wealth. I think real estate is going to be one of those key drivers of doing that. And I think what we're going to start to see here is a really big change with middle America. And this is why we all need to get ready for it. Because if you're not getting ready for this, I think it's going to be a rude awakening in the next year or two. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I was in a situation the last couple of years where I put some money in a bank account and, I was getting interest on this money and it was fine. But looking back on it, on that specific account, how much did I really lose due to inflation, right? I would argue probably 40%. There's another one right there. Probably 40%. And over the next couple of years, if I were to leave that money sitting, I would argue that it would just continue to erode in the course of 5 or 7 or 10 years, probably lose 80 or 90% of the value of that dollar, right? That's what's unfolding right now with the US dollar. And this is why I think we're going to see so much institutional money flowing to these little small homes. And why these homes specifically? Well, that home, for example, probably about 1,200 square feet, little 3-bed, 1-bath, cheap to insure. Very cheap, $80 a month. Utilities, somewhat affordable, right? As long as you don't need a new roof and, the actual, structure of the property is okay. These deals are going to start to get acquired left, right, and center all throughout America. It's not just going to be in Ohio where I am right now. I think it's going to be throughout the Midwest and a lot of these different cities and markets. We're just going to start seeing these properties getting acquired, because what I think is going to happen is the Section 8 voucher program is going to explode over the next couple of years. Look at the labor market right now. Layoffs right now are far greater than they were in 2008. So you have record high inflation, you have a job market that's failing, and you have millions of more people that have now come over here that are looking for housing and shelter. So how is this all going to get funded and subsidized? Well, likely going to be increased taxes and the expansion of the Section 8 voucher program. And that's what I think is going to happen. So I think these big investors are saying, look, I can buy tons of these homes and I can get my money directly guaranteed by the government. And that's what I think is unfolding here right in front of us. And that's why I myself, I've relocated my whole family here to kind of check out this opportunity and look to see, because I think that we're going to see a lot of change unfolding throughout the U.S. economy, the U.S. housing market. They're even talking about, I'm seeing articles now about how we need an eviction moratorium throughout the Gulf of Mexico, or the Gulf of Florida, because of that storm that was from the Gulf of Mexico. It just signals to me like the 2020 era with stimulus and the eviction moratoriums, that's far from over. If anything, it was a test run, a pilot program, so to speak, for the amount of subsidies that are going to be coming to the future.
Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he made and I was shocked. He's in his 80s and he's still kicking butt, working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger than ever, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. He did this by making one simple change. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/JW or by clicking the link in the description below this video. It will honestly change the way you think about health. You won't believe how simple it is. Just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old, and yet probably has more energy than me. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health, simply focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by clicking the link in the description box below this video, or go to chuckdefense.com/JW.
Look at how beautiful and peaceful these homes are. I mean, these streets, like, look at this. You hear nothing, no crime. You don't see any bars on the windows, right? People talk about, oh, you know, these areas are so crime-ridden, and look, go to LA, go to New York City, go to San Fran, go to Atlanta, go to Chicago. Many of those cities, the inner cities, they're not places where people leave their car unlocked, to say the least. Here, I mean, look at this. I don't see any bars on any of these windows, right? $100,000 houses, basically by the thousands throughout Ohio. It's in my opinion, a gold mine that I think Blackstone and a lot of these corporations are going to be seizing in the next couple of years. And they're going to be getting their funding directly from the government. I mean, the return on these properties, it's absolutely crazy. Like, it's shocking. Like, for example, they might be able to get something like that, maybe $1,400-$1,500 a month, right? Insurance and taxes might be $300, $350 a month in total. So you start to think about that, you know, maybe they'll make $12,000, $13,000 a year if they had no leverage. Now, they put leverage on it and they'd probably get those returns closer to 20% a year, guaranteed by the government. Where else are they going to be able to do something like that? Get that type of stability. Now, there's an insurance company out there that made a prediction saying that in the next 5 years that over 7 million single family homes will be owned by institutional investors. I think that's pretty spot on. And look how nice. Like, I still can't get over this, because, like, you'll hear on, you know, online people talking about, oh, investing in real estate in other cities and, you know, out of state is a problem, and these areas are bad. I brought my wife and kids here, and I'm asking my wife, I'm like, what do you think about it? She's like, honestly, it's nicer than LA. Like, the people are nicer, it's more affordable, everything is just better. I mean, look at the dog. The dog's running around. More affordable, it's just, overall, it's just better. And yeah, I mean, I think what's going to happen is Ohio is going to get, essentially, Ohio, Michigan, a lot of these markets are going to become more attractive for these investors. I mean, look at these homes. In any city, almost any location in America, these homes would be $500,000. Now they're $100,000. $100,000 for these houses. It's unbelievable. Like, if you're a retiree on fixed income and you're like, oh, I only make $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month. If you got $100,000, you'll buy one of these houses. Probably live, right? You probably could live on $1,000 a month. You know, if you're going to grocery stores and whatnot, you probably live on $1,000 a month. Now, there are other deals like this, like behind me. There's like some of these fixers. I'm actually going to look at 3 of them today. But these fixers, you can buy like duplexes, $40,000, $45,000. If they're all fixed up, you get $1,100 a unit from Section 8. So you could basically pull $2,000 a month, a little over $2,000 a month, on, I would say, a $90,000 investment, because you probably need to put $50,000 into the duplex. But still, $90,000 investment pulling $2,000 a month, absolutely crazy. Where else can you pull those types of numbers, right? Nowhere else. For you to pull $2,000 a month in LA, you probably would need to invest maybe $400,000. Maybe, yeah, probably $400,000 investment. Maybe we'll get you that, right? It's the returns are just, and also the landlord-tenant laws are horrible for landlords in most big cities in America. Here, these more landlord front, like here's another sign right here. But yet it's only this one lady. She's everywhere. telling you, everywhere. So I think that's also going to kind of expand the changes that are going to be coming for landlord tenant laws. If this does happen, I promise you, that's what will unfold. She's already been talking about rent caps and things like that. All these different protections. This one right there, right? So all these rent caps and all these different protections. If you're getting subsidized by the government, I think you're probably better off than not being subsidized by the government on these Section 8 rentals. So if you can build out a portfolio of Section 8 properties, you could have some type of investment that is guaranteed by the government, I think will kind of give you a little bit more safety and security. Now, am I saying Blackstone's going to run out and do this? No. But what I am saying is Blackstone's going to run out heavily and invest in single-family homes, affordable single-family homes, and they are going to make a fortune on it. I'm not sure what their strategy is going to be, but I can promise you they're going to make an absolute fortune on this, because there's a few different things that are unfolding right now in the US housing market. The first is that insurance is going through the roof. Many of these homeowners cannot afford to hold on. So as insurance is going up, these homeowners can't afford to hold on. The job market's falling apart. Utility bills are getting too expensive. Most Americans over the last 4 years relocated thinking they could work from home from wherever. And a lot of these people are finding out that they can't. Look at Amazon, right? Getting ready to basically cut thousands and thousands of workers. AI and automation will basically eliminate a lot of jobs in the next couple of years. All of these people with leverage that aren't going to be able to hold on are going to be forced to sell. That's what will likely happen. And so as that begins to become the trend, these people are going to be forced to sell off their properties, and who are they going to sell them to? You think they're going to sell them to another mom and pop investor? You think they're going to sell them to a big institution or a wealthy individual, or some type of major player like Floyd Mayweather, right? They're going to sell it to big investors. And these big investors are going to run in here and scoop up tons and tons and tons of homes. That's why I'm right now in Ohio, and probably why I'm going to likely stay here, because I think the opportunity here is going to be endless compared to almost anywhere else in the country if you know what you're doing. If you can actually run out here and buy tons of these deals and put them on the Section 8 voucher program. I think that's probably going to be safer than probably having money inside of a bank or just sitting there, because the value of the homes are likely going to remain stable. I mean, like this $100,000 house, how much would that cost right now to build? The answer, probably 300 grand, 400 grand to build the house. That's considering no value for the land, right? If you can buy them for 100 grand, you're basically isolating one's wealth. And I think all these billionaires are looking for ways in which they're going to be able to isolate their wealth. Like that's an adorable little house, and they're literally just like everywhere. Like most dangerous neighborhood yet, kids are playing soccer out front, right? These neighborhoods, most of these neighborhoods, I'm not going to say all, most of these neighborhoods in Cleveland, in Toledo, a lot of these areas, safe, like way more safe than LA. We had a property in LA that we're developing. This is a couple years ago, and I was talking to my wife about it, and she's like, "Yo," this was before we even had kids. She's like, "Yeah, if we end up having kids, we definitely would never let them walk around here, right?" So it's just in LA and some of these other areas, you I think encounter a different type of living experience than you would here. 100 grand, like it's just crazy. But that's my prediction. I think we're going to see so much money coming to these neighborhoods, to all over the country, acquiring all these affordable properties. So I'm going to document what I'm going to end up doing out here. We're under contract on buying one house right now, and all goes well, we're basically going to go all in on Section 8s, and I'm going to be documenting the entire process. I'm going to show you guys how much I'm buying them for, what it cost me, my wins, my losses, show you guys everything, because it's all good to have the information to understand what's going on in the economy, but if there's not a game plan to make a ton of money and to protect yourself,
protect your family and, thrive during the storm, then it's kind of like irrelevant, in my opinion. That's why I kind of stopped doing videos for like a week or so, kind of like just thinking about everything. The next year, 2 years, 3 years, those that are gonna survive it are making ambitious plays right now, and they're gonna put themselves in that position to thrive during the downtime. I think that's what we should all be doing, thriving during the downtime, like Floyd Mayweather is, like Steven Schwarzman, all these players on a smaller level. Like, even if it's a small scale, just putting yourself in that position to grow during that storm, because as the job market starts to change, everything changes, our cost of living is only gonna likely go up, in my opinion. What do you think about this entire situation? I mean, like, look at these homes. Look at that. Really hear the birds chirping. Let's have a conversation below. Hit the like button, and for more information on today's sponsor, click the link in the description just below this video. Catch you next video.